If you don't ask, you'll not get. Welcome to this episode of the Limitation Is A Mirage podcast. On this episode, I want to talk to you about a story that popped into my head during the week. And it was, the basis of the story is, if you don't ask, you don't get. And whenever I left school and I had no qualifications, I hadn't many choices. I went to the tech and eventually got kicked out of the tech. So I ended up doing a retail management course in a wee shitty building with, it was probably about 12 of us in the class in the drone training services. It doesn't even exist anymore, which is weird because my primary school doesn't exist anymore or my secondary school. So maybe that's something to do with sort of explains my education, that the three buildings I was in don't exist anymore. But that's a segue, whatever. That's a different story for a different time. Maybe that's where my superpowers developed. Anyway, so whenever you went there, you got a job in a shop or somewhere that sold things. You could work as a warehouse guy or whatever. I happened to get a job in a sweet shop. And I was working there for about maybe 2 months. Sometimes I'd be in at 8 in the morning and I wouldn't get out till like 8 at night. But most times I was doing 9 to 5, 9 to half 5, just the normal hours. And my mate was working in a different shop, and one day I got out early. I can't remember why. Maybe I was meant to go to the bank. I had a habit of going to the bank and just taking ages to do it and claiming the bank was really busy. Just because I didn't like being in the building. I didn't want to be there, so that was my justification for it. But I seen my mate get paid, and I was like, what the fuck? How did he get so much money? And he's getting £110. I was fucking mind blown. Because when you did the drone training service, you got £40 a week from the dole, I presume. And that was all you were needed to give. And my boss was giving me a tenner a week on top of that to give me like £50 a week. And I was like, fucking, this is deadly. Obviously, I never really thought it much through, going back to my education again. And I see my mate and I was like, what the fuck? So you're getting the 40 quid and 110? What's going on here? And he explained that his boss just paid him 110 quid a week. And I was furious, ripping, and marched back up the town and went down to the shop and went into my boss and I was like, what the fuck, I'm quitting. He's like, what are you quitting for? I go, I'm quitting, this is fucking bullshit. Like, I've been working every hour you ask me, I do everything that I'm asked to be done. Everything that you asked is done as best as I can, and I fucking hate being here. And then I find out that you're giving me a tenner and my mate's doing the same sort of work and he's getting 110. And my boss was like, well, you've never asked for any more. I don't have to give you anything and you've never asked. So how much do you want? And again, thinking back, I probably could have asked for more, but I was like, well, obviously I want 110 as well. I didn't even try to outdo him. And I did work more hours than him. I should have tried to outdo him. But I was like, I want £110. And he just, done. I was like, right. All right, cool. And then just went back to work. And then, or I left because work was over. And then when I came back in on the Monday morning, I was like, well, why did I have to ask for this? And what was even weirder was he didn't pay me till the next week. So I didn't even get paid the 110 for that week. I still got my tenner and then my 40 quid from the dole. And he was like, well, why would I? You never asked for it. So I'm not just going to give it to you whenever you don't ask for it. I didn't know you needed it, which is fucking bullshit when you think about it, because obviously I needed the money to live. But he was like, I didn't know you needed it because you seemed to get on rightly with the money that you had. And I didn't know you wanted it because you never complained, you never asked. And ever since then, that's probably why I'm so forward with things that I do and with pricing of things and when I talk to clients. If you don't know my core beliefs, if you don't know the way that I work and the way that I think other people should work, you're never going to be able to match that. So there's no way you can just know what I think and how I feel and what I want out of my life. So if you don't know that, then how are you going to satisfy my work ethic whenever you don't even know what it is? So I always believe that if whatever I want, so whenever I'm hired to fly, if I'm flying away or whatever, I don't like to travel on buses and things like that. So I asked in the contract to have a car rented for me so that I can drive to the places. It also means I can just go to different places as well, randomly, which I do enjoy. Just having that bit more freedom to be able to go wherever I want. And I started to think about that more and more as the years went on, and that's why I think I'm work with the people that I work with now, and it's why I am the way I am. Because I know what I don't want to settle for in all areas of my life, and I make sure that people around me know that as well. So I just thought I would share that story with you. I think it's worth knowing that if you don't ask for things, you're not going to get it. And you never know what you'll get whenever you do ask. But just don't be a dick about it. Don't be running around asking for free shit all the time. Like, ask for what you're worth and what you are willing to help work towards as a balance. So thanks again for tuning in. I hope you have a super awesome day, whatever you get up to, and I will speak to you again soon.